Imagine a Stephen King masterpiece, a deeply personal story brimming with love, loss, and the chilling unknown that almost nobody talks about. That's Lisey's story, and it's quietly waiting for you on Apple TV. But here's the kicker. Both the original novel and the TV adaptation have flown almost completely under the radar, making it a hidden gem for hardcore King fans. Why? The novel arrived in 2006. A period some might consider between King's initial blockbuster era and the resurgence that began around 2011 with 11/22/63. And this is the part most people miss, because Lisey's story isn't a horror spectacle like It, or a post-apocalyptic epic like The Stand. It often gets overlooked in lists of King's best works. Consequently, the TV adaptation, starring Julianne Moore as Lisey and Clive Owen as her deceased husband Scott, hasn't exactly set the world on fire either. The Apple TV series, which premiered in June 2021, received a mixed reception, to say the least. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 53% score, while general viewers rated it even lower at 48%. Ouch. Lucy Mangan of The Guardian, in her review, criticized the show's relentlessly repetitive narrative structure, arguing that it left precious little space to let dread build, to make the scary things scary and the emotional things moving. Joshua Meyer, writing for Film, echoed similar sentiments, suggesting that the story's pacing felt stretched, saying, "There's enough story here to justify maybe 4 or 6 episodes, not 8. But hold on a minute. Don't let the lukewarm reviews deter you. Lisey's story, which is still streaming on Apple TV, is absolutely worth a dedicated Stephen King fan's time. Why? Because it's a remarkably faithful adaptation of one of King's most personal and emotionally resonant novels. And crucially, King himself penned the screenplay for all 8 episodes. As King enthusiastically declared on Twitter in May 2021, "The trailer for Lisey's story drops tomorrow. I love it, and hope you all do." He clearly has a deep affection for this story. In fact, Lisey's story is one of King's personal favorites. But here's where it gets controversial. In a 2019 interview with The Guardian, when asked which 3 of his books he'd save from a fire, King surprisingly included Lisey's story, alongside the more universally acclaimed The Stand and Misery. While the inclusion of the latter 2 was easily understandable, the mention of Lisey's story raised some eyebrows, except among those hardcore fans who truly understand King's work. The book is, in essence, a love letter to his wife Tabitha, a cornerstone of his life for over 50 years. The parallels between Lisey and Tabitha are undeniable. Both are the wives of famous authors. The key difference, of course, is that Lisey's husband is deceased, forcing her to confront his legacy and the secrets he kept. King himself explained the inspiration behind the story in the book's QA section, recounting a real-life experience that prompted him to contemplate his own mortality and its potential impact on his loved ones. "I had double pneumonia around the year 2000 and came really close to stepping out. When I came home from the hospital, my wife had cleaned out my study completely. And when I went in, she said, 'Don't go in there. You won't like what you find.' So of course I went in there," laughs. "And it was empty. All the books were gone. I thought to myself, I've died. I'm a ghost. I really for a minute thought that. I'm haunting my old study, and this is what it looks like." The idea for Lisey's story came from that, and from wondering how my wife would act without me. Ultimately, Lisey's story is a unique blend of psychological thriller, romance, and dark fantasy, exploring themes of grief, memory, and the enduring power of love. It's a flawed but deeply personal work, offering a glimpse into the mind of one of the world's greatest storytellers. So what do you think? Is Lisey's story an underrated masterpiece deserving of more attention? Or does its uneven pacing and unconventional narrative hold it back? Do you agree with Stephen King's high praise for it? Or do you think it's one of his weaker efforts? Share your thoughts in the comments below.